And now, live at twitch.tv/RNG Show, it's your weekly dose of gaming news. From Nintendo to the PC, along with other nerd culture like film and anime, with new perspectives every week. Hosted by fans just like you. Got feedback? Tweet at RNG_show or chat live on Twitch. The RNG Show begins now.
Hello, and welcome to the RNG Show.
Hi.
I'm CB for Good, and I'm joined here today with Shado and Caitlin. Introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm that Shadow person.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Kate.
There you go.
Hi.
There you go.
We have a plethora of topics to talk with you today, so why don't we go ahead and get started, guys?
Wow,
Today's
jumping in.
We're just jumping in.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean we've got. Surprisingly, there's more news than I was expecting. Usually,
Yeah.
you know, this is kind of a. It's supposed to be a quiet kind of amount of, or especially these late summer, up until school really starts. People don't really release any information about games or news or anything like that. But this particular week, there was some stuff. There's some stuff that was happening, and so we've got a few topics to talk about. Kate, do you want to lead us in on the first thing?
Yeah, so Bloodborne director Hidetaka Miyazaki assured that the new DLC wouldn't be impacted because of his second project, which is Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
So apparently it's still going to be really good, and it won't really be affected by the production of the new game.
Yeah, though that is quite an undertaking, working on two massive projects at the same time.
It's true. I mean, From Software is going to have a lot on their plate here. I can't actually remember right now whether or not Dark Souls 3 has some sort of a release date of some kind that would impede them from being able to, try to, you know what I mean? Like, I want to make sure that Dark Souls 3 doesn't get hammered or hampered from that release date just because, they want to add some extra content to Bloodborne, which is perfectly fine. It's a wonderful game, but still.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any release date now, but yeah, I see what you're saying, that they want it to be the top quality, but they don't want to delay it like a lot of games are doing right now.
Yeah, and we've got plenty of games that are being delayed just on the list of topics that we have today. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Jiggy, it's impede, not impede. Jeez. I'm trying to sound smart. Damn it. Sorry.
There's no release date for Dark Souls 3 yet, but there's rumors and stuff. But
okay. Good to know.
I would probably say holiday next year is probably a good guess.
At the earliest. I mean, if they as a studio, they're saying, yeah, we can handle the DLC and the production of Dark Souls 3, one would have to assume that they've got a little bit of time on the ladder.
Yeah, it just says that a release date in 2016, so...
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, TB, do you have mumble or attenuating? That is, like, every time we talk, it lowers the game volume?
I don't think so, but potentially, maybe?
Thanatos mentioned something to that effect, but I'm not sure if it's necessarily happening, because as soon as I try to listen to the stream, I'm just going to die. Because I'll have to hear myself talking, like, 10 seconds after I'm talking.
Yeah.
Whatever the case. What were you going to say, Kayla?
Well, speaking of talking, the Xenoblade Chronicles X will be having American and English voice acting within it.
I mean, glad to hear that they're going to, try to grab a few extra bits from the talent pool.
Yeah, because I remember when I first got my hands on Xenoblade Chronicles, the first thing I noticed was all the voice actors were British.
Every last one?
Every single one of them.
Huh. Yeah, no, I haven't actually, I haven't played it myself, but I have watched other people play it. And now that I think about it, yeah, you're right. All Brits.
Yeah. So they're gonna mix it up a little bit in the new game.
But British people sound so much like more intelligent and like clever.
They really do.
What was I don't know Xenoblade all that well, so enlighten me perhaps of those who have played it. Like what is supposed to be the perceived nationalities of these individuals? Is it like our world? Is it a different world? They just happen to have British people.
It's definitely a different world.
Okay.
I don't think it really is. It really matters what their nationality is. It's just they just so happen to all have British accents in the first game.
Fair enough. Well, yeah. Then in which case, it might be nice to mix it up on occasion.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that Britain might appreciate having the entire world ruled by Brits again, but you know, beside the point. But yeah. No, I always like seeing, especially American voice actors. We want more roles. Just saying. Not to say I'm a voice actor, but just if something were to occur, and they were just happening to be looking for American voice actors in the Midwest who might have never had a voice acting role in their lives, but still kind of want one.
Have a really deep, chocolatey voice.
Yeah, maybe just give me a ring if for some reason the talent collector for Xenoblade Chronicles X is hiding amongst our 14 viewers today.
I could imagine you playing like a really good antagonist. Like I'm not saying like you're antagonizing, but your voice would make perfect for that.
It is my life's goal to be a villain someday, real life or otherwise.
Both.
Just maybe I'll use the money from playing a villain to become a villain. It'll be great.
Yeah. Hey Shado.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we already moved on topics.
Yeah, I guess.
I had a perfect segue for that, but it wasn't the right topic. Nope.
Oh,
it was the next topic.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Okay.
I was one ahead of where we were at. I'll save it.
Okay, we're ready for it.
Okay, so the PS4 system got a firmware update, so that's fun.
Yeah.
So,
well, soon, right? Or
yeah.
did it come out already?
Yeah. My understanding was that it was soon, and that was a phone noise.
Because I read the news report, but it said that they leaked information about the new update, which looked like a lot of bug fixes, a lot of changes in UI for the main page, just to make it look nicer and a little bit more detailed.
And a lot more user-friendly as well.
And social.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of seems like it's moving towards kind of like Steam's layout, because I don't have a PS4, but just looking through the stuff they added, like community added to the friends menu, and now you can broadcast to YouTube from your PS4. So
That's I didn't actually read that part. That's a big difference.
And you can also post videos on Twitter up to 10 seconds straight from your PS4.
Those are some nice additions.
Yeah.
Man, that would be the first. Yeah, I guess that. Well, I mean, there are only 2 consoles that stream right now, but that would be the. I don't think Xbox One streams to YouTube yet.
Streams to Twitch, but not YouTube.
Yeah.
You can make YouTube videos, but you can't stream.
Which is what we're saying here. You can live broadcast on the PS4. Thomson is saying that you can do it in the Xbox too, but I'd have to double check on that. And it's the Xbox One. Jesus, come on. But the Xbox 2 is coming up in a few years, probably. Or never. Maybe this is the last console. Who knows?
Yeah, no. They're slowly... We'll talk about this later, but they're slowly drifting into the computer being the Xbox being the computer. There's no difference, but... Anyway, earlier we were talking... Oh, really? Alright.
Anyway. Segue.
Earlier we were talking about all the delays. Shado, what's a game that got delayed?
A lot of things.
What's this next one?
Maybe Rodea the Sky Soldier. That was delayed in November.
Yeah. Got delayed again, huh?
Uh-huh. I mean, it's nothing new, unfortunately, but yeah. No, it definitely happened.
Was this was the one that the new date is November 10th, right?
Yeah.
that is a very conflicted date, and I'm kind of against that, putting that there, because that's a big date for games. Like, Fallout 4 is coming out that day.
Yeah, you're right. I was just thinking about that. Oh, dear. Well, actually, at the same time, I wonder, what is the true overlap between fans of Fallout 4 and Rodea the Sky Soldier? We might be a little unique in this particular instance, but
Yeah, I
I
suppose. Yeah.
Still, it seems odd to like try to delay yourself into that same space. You can wait a week. If you're already waiting another couple months, you can wait another week. Just knock yourself back a little bit more. Have a week to yourself.
Yeah, the whole month of November is actually quite insane, as Jiggy brings up.
It's true.
So,
What are the releases? I was going to look that up. Did you have anything else? Was there anything else you wanted to mention about this, Kaylin?
No.
it's a game that was originally released on the Wii. It's a JRPG, but
Rodea the Sky Soldier?
Yeah, that's what I got out of it, at least.
Sure.
And that's what I think it is. I just kind of skimmed it.
Oh, no, okay, yeah, no, then next week is, after the week of the 10th of November, which is Fallout 4, Star Wars Battlefront comes out the week after that.
Call of Duty comes out that month, doesn't it?
The week
so,
before
yeah.
that. And Rise of the Tomb Raider is also the same day as Fallout 4. It's gonna be it's gonna be an interesting a month, to say the least. That would be pretty tough.
I wish best of luck to the team that works on this, and
Godspeed.
Godspeed.
Please, like, try to move up your release date again, because you're throwing yourself into an awkward situation. And yeah, Persona 5 might even come out there, which definitely has some overlap between itself and Rodea, possibly. I wonder, that's got to come out soon, or the release date for Persona 5's got to be announced at some point soon. I mean, we're running out of 2015, and they keep saying 2015. I
Maybe
guess
they'll just randomly throw it out there on shelves one day.
that would be. I would be excited and completely mortified at the same time, because I know I wouldn't get there in time to get a copy.
It would, like, break the internet. People would be like, Persona 5 just released. What?
There are rumors, and actually, I don't think they're based on any fact, but they at least make sense, that the Tokyo Game Show, which I think comes up, end of September? Maybe October? I can't remember. I have to look that up. But people are saying that Persona 5 might get announced then.
Oh, okay.
That would make sense. I'm sure Atlas has a big chunk of time to talk about it then.
Yeah.
But so you were talking previously about that whole Xbox One business, with how they're kind of just integrating it into being a PC.
Yeah, the the Windows 10 released a new Xbox app, which is slowly drifting Xbox and Windows together into one system. I was getting out of it.
Yeah, it kind of seems to be Microsoft's thing. They're trying to integrate everything back together because they're worried that their other platforms are getting too fragmented. They just want everything under Windows 10. Just literally everything they do. Windows 10. Go.
That's kind of scary.
A little bit, but I could definitely also see not having to worry necessarily about, like, oh, will my Windows phone be compatible with this application that I'm using on my Windows tablet, on my Xbox One and Windows PC. Now, assuming they can actually wrap everything together, it will, which is pretty neat. Scary, but neat. So we'll see where it goes. Yeah, were there specific things that they said about it, or was it just kind of a general article?
On the Windows Xbox app for Windows 10, you get access to, like, your friends list, and you can actually, I believe they were talking about streaming games, like Xbox games, on your PC. Mm-hmm. And you can access all your achievements and stuff as well.
That'll be pretty neat. Oh yeah, they did have a big thing at Gamescom. I for some reason I missed all of Gamescom, and I'm just trying to catch up on that at this point now for some reason. Like that's a big part of gaming that I just kind of blanked out on because I was already kind of announced out with E3.
It was a lot of esports.
Yeah, it seemed to be. And I know Sony wasn't even at Gamescom, right? They
I don't think
skipped
they were.
it. Or at the very least, they didn't have like a big show about it. They just maybe they had some stands or something, or place on the show floor. But yeah, huh?
Yeah, it was mainly EA that was there this year, but
EA and Xbox or Microsoft certainly.
yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, no, we'll see where it goes. I think this Microsoft is the only one who can really do this. Certainly, I mean, Sony doesn't have really that kind of setup that they can try. Nor does Nintendo. Nintendo could try connecting their other platforms, I guess, at some point, but they're pretty well connected as is. Microsoft's in a pretty unique position to do this. And so we'll see where it takes gaming. It could be great, it could be horrible. It could launch in a new era of gaming where PC and console just fade into one, and we no longer have to fight these silly wars. Or it could just be more fragmentation. We'll see.
Well, something else that could be great is Final Fantasy 15 is planned for a worldwide release.
I saw that. Yeah. No, region locking or anything like that. Just straight up, everybody gets the same time. Oh man, now I have to think about it. Previous Final Fantasy games, were those released on separate schedules, or
they definitely were.
As well?
The Japan release date has been very much before everywhere else for the previous entries. Yeah.
Huh.
So
it's really
kind of
a Western audience.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see them all being released at the same time.
Yeah, no, that's pretty new. Interesting. But yeah, no. Are you guys planning on getting Final Fantasy 15 once it finally releases?
I probably will.
Yeah.
I've actually never played a Final Fantasy game.
Never.
And I know, but
I mean, I've never finished one, but similar.
I mean, I played bits and pieces because my dad was into it when I was younger. But I want to actually start playing a few, but I kind of want to start towards the beginning once I finally start getting into them.
Like the beginning of the series?
Like Final Fantasy 1?
Shudders.
It's
probably not one.
Because those early games are literal grind fests. Like you'll be
I-
sitting hours and hours trying to knock your levels up a bit.
I'd recommend starting with like 6.
6 would be a good starting spot. You can skip the first couple.
Okay.
I mean, no, that's a lie, by the way. I have actually finished both, or actually literally the only 2 I've ever finished are Final Fantasy Tactics and Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced. And those are just offshoots. They're not even real Final Fantasy games necessarily. Got close to 10. I was fighting Sin and I was like, yeah, I think I've seen enough. But still, Final Fantasy 15, the best car/fantasy game you'll ever play. Because you're riding around in a car.
Yeah.
And you're killing things from the car.
That's the meme, Shadow. Good job. I'm proud of you.
Yep. No,
you memed.
We've already gone for about 20 minutes now. There's not been a single meme, so I had to toss one in at least. At least. I know you're busy playing rocket cars, soccer cars, Rocket League, but you got to hold up your end of the bargain.
I'm sorry.
Team.
I'm sorry. I'm in me mom's car. Vroom vroom.
There you go. Fixed. Everything's fine. Everything's gonna be good.
Well,
Hi, fun.
there's a new news about Resident Evil 2 remake. It's now in development.
Oh baby, I'm really excited for that.
I have not actually watched the little trailer that they released to kind of announce this. Did they have a release date of any kind, or is it just like, hey, we're doing this thing now?
Yeah, it was just a Japanese guy talking like it's in development now. Here you go.
And there won't be any news for a good while, but
Yeah.
Probably not.
hyped for it.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of like when going back to Final Fantasy when they said they're doing the Final Fantasy VII remake. I guess it's just nice to know that it is indeed happening at some point.
Yes.
That someone somewhere is working on this. Yeah, no, we'll see where it goes. I'm pumped to try it at least. I've never gotten the Resident Evil series. I've been told I need to.
You definitely need to. They're great games.
They looked. I mean, I don't know. I'm not much of a horror guy, but
Oh.
at the same time, I kind of like kind of hybrid horror games where you still have a little bit of control over the situation. Like gunplay mixed in with campy horror. I can get along with that.
Yeah.
I love me some Left 4 Dead. It's effectively the same thing, right?
Yeah, pretty close. I mean,
Minus the whole running and gunning with trailer players and killing thousands upon thousands of zombies.
Resident Evil's a lot faster. Or a lot slower, I mean. Left 4 Dead's a lot faster.
Say, wait a minute.
I got that mixed up.
I was hoping.
No, if Resident Evil was faster, oh my god.
You'd have to be a bullet hell, except the bullets are zombies.
The bullets are zombies.
Zombie bullets coming to you in 2017.
Pretty much. Thank goodness, though. Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, it should be interesting. And I'm not saying, by the way, as if I mentioned in chat, that action horror is way better than other horror games. Not necessarily. I mean, if you want to achieve true horror in a game, you kind of have to take the action part away, because that feeling of helplessness can really add to the horror. But like Thanatos saying, Outlast is not an action horror game, but just a straight horror game. You don't have any weapons. You just got the camera, and you just run around trying not to die as you get your fingers pulled off and whatnot.
Oh, excellent.
That sounds lovely.
Spoilers.
I haven't played that game.
Don't. Unless you really like hating everything when you try to go to bed.
I think I might try it then.
Yeah, no, it's a fun time. If, like I said, you hate sleeping.
See,
Just
I
put
like
that out
horror
there.
games, so
Yeah,
they don't
it's
really
fine.
scare me as much, so I might try it.
Teach their own.
You know who else won't be sleeping, though?
Hmm.
The people waiting in line at the PlayStation convention.
It's true. Probably, maybe. I don't know.
The PlayStation Global Oh no, I skipped one again. That's a PSXP. God,
You were
what is
really
the PGW?
But the segues are good.
I know.
It was a good segue, but it's the Paris Games Week that
Paris Games
PlayStation
Week
is getting set up for, and what is speculated to be the reason why they weren't at Gamescom, because they just put all their eggs in the basket of Paris Games Week instead, which I guess is okay.
So we're looking to see some pretty exciting announcements, hopefully, and more info on stuff that has already been announced. So
It's true.
It'll probably be a good time for all you PlayStation fans out there.
If you're up at 12 o'clock at night to watch it.
Yeah, because Paris time zones.
Indeed. But, I mean, we usually get the luck, or we're usually the ones to luck out on it sort of thing, so I guess we got to take our lumps.
Yeah.
Except the Tokyo Game Show and Gamescom and a lot of these things get in the same situation, but E3 is really the only one we get. Plus, of course, the PlayStation experience.
Yeah. You want to talk?
I guess we could move on, yeah, but I was just trying to think if there's anything we knew necessarily about Paris Games Week past the fact that it's going to be end of October.
It's October 27th.
Yeah.
2 o'clock, and then other than that, they didn't really say anything.
I'm sure we'll be hearing more about it in the coming weeks, because we still got 2 months away until we're there, so, Yeah, I suppose if you have a much easier chance at actually witnessing this stuff, being the European that you are. But yeah, the PlayStation Experience 2015, unlike last year, which it was in Vegas, this time it's going to be in San Fran.
Which I think that's a good change in venue. I feel like it's a more welcoming area for this kind of event.
I mean, I guess, was Vegas not accommodating?
Well, I'm sure it was. It's just a lot of big things happen in San Francisco, like Comic-Con and other conventions. Yeah, TwitchCon.
That's true.
So it's just going to be more susceptible. No, that's not the word. I don't know what word I'm looking for.
More nerdy?
Yeah. There's going to be more nerdy people around. It'll have a better turnout, is what I'm guessing.
Potentially. There is one major thing that happens each year in Vegas, though. That's a pretty big deal for nerds, but why can't I remember the name? It's like the biggest non-gaming electronics expo. Oh, why is the name escaping me? It's a very important thing. It's like where all the big tech companies come together and release all their newest hardware and stuff, whether it be TVs.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it either.
I've wanted to go for ages, but like each ticket is a couple $1,000s.
Yeah.
It's you almost have to get a press pass just to get in for a reasonable price. But I definitely want to go sometime. It's not Comic-Con Thanatos, unless he was talking about the previous thing. It's more Comic-Con, just Vegas Comic-Con.
I mean, there are Comic-Cons everywhere, but the big one, the renowned one, is San Diego Comic-Con.
It's true, which is not San Francisco.
Oh, well, I mean, they're in the same state, right?
Yeah, you know.
California.
Probably. Yeah, no. It was. I mean, last year's PlayStation experience, I think, went fairly well. I mean, they're the only console developer that has their own like big show, or at least they're trying to be. You know.
Yeah, I watched a video on it, and they were saying it's pretty awesome. Like, they're like, we've been around for 20 years. What is our only problem with this event? Why didn't we do it sooner? Mm-hmm. Like, apparently it's a very good turnout, and I'm really excited to see what comes out of it.
It was the Consumer Electronics Trade Show, the CES.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. I mean, that's a huge thing that happens in Vegas annually. But yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, I if I had the opportunity, I'd love to go, but to both CES and the PlayStation Experience, but I think I've only got one trip to San Fran in me this year. Whenever it's already booked. Do they have anything that they're, besides the fact that it's definitely happening, did they say anything about what they'd be announcing at said PlayStation Experience?
I think it's just more of like a come together, like you don't have to have a press pass to get in, kind of. The normal person can have a hands-on with all the demos.
Right, it's like a free experience for people in San Fran to come in and check it out.
Yeah.
And people traveling to San Fran, of course, just anybody who's there.
Yeah, it's more of a, here's all the stuff that we announced all year and had demos for at all these conventions, and now you get to play them.
Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty cool.
You know what else could be pretty cool? The Game Awards 2015.
Oh, baby.
Oh, yeah. That's happening in December, correct?
As well, yeah.
Yes.
Well, what do you guys think of the previous Game Awards? The VGAs, the VGXs, the Game Awards. It's been kind of a back and forth thing between the event and gamers the world over, whether or not people actually enjoy this.
I've enjoyed them.
Yep.
It's good to have kind of like a one universal like awards, because like every company out there has like, oh, this is our game of the year, oh, this is our game of the year kind of thing. It's good to have like one universal one that everybody can refer to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I definitely hear you. But like in the past, regardless of like the actual like gaming awards set of it, people usually kind of thought that, especially when Spike was the one who was hosting it, that it just wasn't treating gaming culture correctly. Like, comes to mind Zachary Levi getting teabagged as the host on stage.
Yeah.
Repeatedly. And things like that people were a little upset about. The Game Awards are, the one that happened this past year. I think people generally liked it a little bit better. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's well, we'll see how it goes. I was appreciative of it, but it seemed like there were a lot of, I think people were more excited about the announcements that they had during it more than the awards themselves. Like, last year's had a ton of new announcements.
I mean,
Yeah.
I actually didn't get to watch it last year, which I should probably go back and watch it.
Yeah,
I mean,
perhaps.
The idea of the Gaming Award show sounds really good, but I'm kind of nervous about how it's actually going to be portrayed.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of different areas in gaming, and I hope they don't just focus on a few specific areas.
Well, I would definitely actually suggest going back and finding some sort of recording of the previous game show. Because if I had to guess, it's probably going to be pretty close to what we had last year. That's right, the Zelda U was... They showed gameplay last year at the Gaming Awards.
Oh, yeah,
I forgot
yeah.
about that. Also, yeah, I mean, Jackson Brody is correct. Gaming show award shows need more Will Smith dance sequences. I mean, that goes without saying. Without a doubt. And, of course, Reggie flying down from the rafters on a wire rig. Just more everything.
Just more Reggie.
More Reggie. I mean, more Reggie would definitely work as well. And now thinking about it, going back with the PlayStation experience, I think those happened in like the same weekend last year, where like both in Vegas. So I'm wondering if that's going to coincide like it did last year. Like Sony took absolute advantage of the idea that the Game Awards were happening in the same place as their PlayStation experience, and people just went straight from the Game Awards to that event, which is certainly an interesting idea.
It might happen since they're being kind of vague and just saying it's in December.
Yeah, which one might lead to believe that it will happen the same weekend as the PlayStation experience does, and it might also be in San Fran. So we'll see where that goes. But coming up, speaking of things that are going to happen later this year, Battlefront's coming out like in let's see here.
November.
2 months? Yeah, 3 months. 3 months from now. And Sony, who's never wanting to be outbeat by anybody here, they have a special edition PS4 coming out for it, I think, or was it a custom one? I can't remember.
It's a custom or a special edition, yeah.
Yeah.
Like collector's
it looks
edition.
Pretty cool.
It looks so awesome.
It just have you seen the controller for it though?
Yes.
It's I don't know. I'm not quite feeling the controller. I like the look of the PS4 itself, but I'm just not sure about the controller. Those of you in chat and everybody else will take a look at it too. I don't know. Why is the circle button red? What is the purpose of this?
Yeah, it was strange.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't know.
That's how you start up your lightsaber. You press the red button.
You press the red button and your PS4 controller becomes a lightsaber?
Yes.
I hope.
That would be amazing.
I'm going to be extremely disappointed now when I'm spending my $1,000 on my limited edition of Vader PS4 bundle, and I'm not going to have a lightsaber PS4 controller. I'm going to put this on you, TV.
Yep.
Well, like I said, the console looks cool.
And it comes with some classic Star Wars games.
It does, yeah.
It
That
does
and
indeed.
Battlefront, and it comes with Battlefront Deluxe Edition. But
Which
it
I
looks
guess
pretty cool.
with that, then let's see here. Okay, no. Oh, for some reason I thought you said that they had the original Battlefronts coming to the PS4. Not quite. But so yeah, I'm trying to think of these. Yeah, no. Pod Racer Revenge. It is kind of fun. The original Pod Racer I think was a little bit more fun, but Revenge probably ports better, considering the original Pod Racer was N64 era.
Yeah, it was.
It probably has not aged quite as well. Potentially. Still fun though, I would assume.
I'd like to take a moment to announce that I just reached level 20, which means I'm officially pro.
Oh baby, I don't think I'm pro yet. And I played a lot of Rocket League.
Yeah.
I gotta get there at some point.
Anyway, if you want more Star Wars news, there's a ton coming up later in the show.
There is probably. I need to look lower on the news thing. Oh yeah. No. There's more Star Wars.
There's
a lot more Star Wars. Tons of Star Wars.
Well, I'm looking at the stream,
And I mean,
see a Disney hat on your car.
Yeah, Star Wars is owned by Disney.
It's true. I see where you're going with this.
You know what else is owned by Disney?
I don't know, what else could Disney possibly own?
Kingdom
Spoilers?
Hearts. They own spoilers. They own the copyright to spoilers.
There were 3 options on that topic, and I picked the wrong one. Damn it.
Yeah, the only reason the spoilers is there is because Big Hero 6 is going to have its own world within Kingdom Hearts 3.
You know, usually when we want to put spoilers on something, we want to say, like, first off, if you don't want to hear about this part, don't listen. But
Well, the only
like,
really
spoilers
no,
part is because
no,
this is spoiling
because
right now.
no, the spoilers is that it takes place after Big Hero 6, but I'm not gonna say like what happens at the end.
That part
So-
I didn't know.
Yeah, it just takes place immediately following Big Hero 6
Huh.
is what will happen in the game. But I'm not gonna say like the events of Big Hero 6. That's
I
what the
still need to see that.
potential spoilers are. Oh, it's such a good movie.
It sounds like it. I don't know, lost track of time, I guess. Someday I will see it. But I mean, it's exciting to hear that, you know, we're getting a little bit more information about Kingdom Hearts 3, because telling you, I was a little disappointed when they came out at E3 and they're like, yeah, look, Kingdom Hearts 3. We're gonna say the same thing about it in terms of development that we said back in 2012.
It's in development. Here you go.
Wait, they're making Kingdom Hearts 3? It's like, come on. We knew that much. Give us a little bit more. Teensy bit more. Maybe like, we're getting close, or something other than currently in development.
Yeah. Well, the
Don't use
guy
the literal same words.
the guy on the announcement video for the Big Hero 6 world said that Big Hero 6 and Kingdom Hearts meld very well together because of like the feelings of friendship and the light overcoming darkness kind of stuff, and it's very reminiscent of each other, and they'll blend together very well.
Sure. Well, you could, in all honesty, you could say that about a lot of Disney movies.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
But still,
speaking-
I'm very excited to see it.
I was just pretty much directly quoting the video.
Right. No, I'm not saying against you necessarily, but the person who said it. It's like, yeah, we see it often.
What other Disney movies, like recent ones, do you think would actually fit well with Kingdom Hearts 3?
Let us know in chat, by the way. Just saying.
Yeah, question of the day. What other worlds should be in Kingdom Hearts 3?
Inside Out.
Inside
Yes.
Out. That would be a good one. I mean, they could very well still announce that.
And the whole game that whole world takes place inside Sora's mind.
Oh, man.
Yes.
That
And
would
you
be
meet
awesome.
the five drivers of his subconscious. Star Wars? Yeah, I mean, probably. You could do Star
Yeah.
Wars, potentially.
Yeah, I could see that. Speaking of Star Wars and Kingdom Hearts, they did announce Star Wars for Disney Infinity, didn't they? Like a while ago?
Yeah, that was I think their third edition or third collection
Yeah.
or something like
well, this year on Disney Infinity, if you for the trophy where you get all the figures of that year, you get a special reward, and it is the Keyblade from Kingdom Hearts inside Disney Infinity.
Which, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. I've never actually played Disney Infinity, so I have to assume that, like, the different characters can just pick up weapons that you've either unlocked or collected over time, and then you create these, fantastic. The whole thing's a giant sandbox created around the idea of like figurines, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think it is, from
And
my
so-
understanding.
To have the Keyblade, I mean, what do you think would be like the game function within for the Keyblade?
To show
Like,
off.
Just to
Yeah,
just swing it
show
around,
off.
give it to Donald and Goofy just to say, "Hey, Sora, we could do this too."
Without you.
Does that also mean that they're eventually going to have a Sora Infinity figure?
Oh, it might be.
Or like,
They
or like
might.
a Kingdom Hearts collection? Would be interesting.
They might be leading that way. Who knows?
We'll see how that goes. What? I don't actually know this next topic. What's going on in Japan?
Oh, so Black Ops 3, the previous Call of Duty installments were published by Square Enix, actually, in Japan.
Really?
Yeah, Square Enix published them to Japanese Call of Duty players. And, basically, they took the reins off that, and now, Microsoft will be publishing the Black Ops 3 to Japan for Xbox One and Xbox 360, and then on the same front, Sony will be also doing it for their systems.
Huh.
So instead of Square Enix doing that like they have since Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4. They're letting they handed over the reins to Sony and Microsoft to do it themselves.
I mean, I guess I didn't even realize that Activision isn't doing that for them. Like, I wasn't expecting that, I guess. I was under the assumption that that was already a thing that Activision was doing, that they just handled the entire worldwide release of Call of Duty. But I guess they hand it off to people on occasion.
Yep. Well, that being said, for the Japanese release, Japanese owners of Black Ops 3 will now have the option to play with a Japanese dub or the original English dub with Japanese subtitles. So
I'm trying to think, like, do we know how big of an install base there are for Japanese Call of Duty players?
I don't really know.
So I have to imagine it's not. If it was large enough, Activision would be in on that stuff. But I guess, yeah. No, I mean, there's got to be enough people out there who care about the story behind Call of Duty that the Japanese dub would be important enough to them.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it has such a gripping storyline.
Indeed. Yeah, and you're right too, Mushbun, that Square doesn't share anything, which means what leads me to believe that it wasn't doing enough business for them. Yeah, like why else would Square Enix suddenly decide they
was
doing
doing business, but then it kind of panned out in the more recent ones.
That's also possible, I suppose. Jiggy, stop swearing in Japanese in our chat.
Well, speaking of Japan, there are now 11 female-oriented visual novels that were recently announced.
Like, all straight at once?
By the same company.
Huh. There we go.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the company offhand. I don't have that up because I'm playing Rocket Car.
I'm
but
looking at it right now. Idea Factories.
Yeah, Idea Factories. They the new visual novels based off manga and stuff that are central. That's not the word.
Marketed.
They're marketed towards girls, so they're releasing more visual novels for the female audience.
That's good. That's good.
With Japan, female audience means it has to be related to love. Like,
well, yeah, that I'll admit. I was going to say, it's nice that they're marketing to females, but it's probably going to be marketed in the most stereotypical way possible. Yeah.
A love adventure game is the description for most of those games.
Oh yeah, no, I'm going down this list right here. We got Collar X Malice, which is a genre of love and suspense.
Ooh.
We've got Namlik Shirayuki, which is a love adventure game. Yep. We've got Realize Sosei no Hemigimi, FD, which is actually no, they don't have a list for that one yet, but it looks a little bit like a little lovey. Got Suran Digit, which is a love adventure game. Sevens Carlet, which is just love adventure. Yep, love adventure. Love adventure. Love adventure. No genre yet. Love adventure. Love adventure. Simulation love.
Ooh.
And sort of a love adventure. Yeah, no, it's almost exclusively just. Hey, if it's gonna be marketed to females, it better have romance, because that's all they care about.
I mean, can't have robots, can't have any swords or anything. No, just gotta be romance.
Gotta be heterosexual romance and nothing. It's the only thing that the women's care about. You can relate, of course, can't you, Caitlin?
Oh yes. The only games I
without a
play, the only games I play have the Twilight plot.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you'd be clutching those pearls too tightly, and you'd have to go to your fainting couch, and it would be too much for your ladylike sensibilities.
Yes, it can steer me down the wrong path later in life.
Indeed, you could actually start liking like boy things. Ooh.
I know. Or I could actually learn things about the world too.
Mm-hmm. That actually reminds me. There was this is completely off base from what we have here, but I was reading an article this morning. Little girl who was she was getting picked on by her elementary school classmates for enjoying things like Star Wars and the like.
Wow.
Because it was too much of a boy thing. So the 501st Legion made a set of Stormtrooper armor for her. It's like the most adorable thing ever.
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm. And she got to go on stage with like Weird Al Yankovic during one of his Star Wars themed songs, along with the 501st. It was pretty neat.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Going along those same lines, there was a story that I read not too long ago. It's like a very small percentage of teenage girls who actually play video games admit to it.
It's true. Yeah.
That's kind of sad because
it is sad.
I understand it because whenever I wear a gaming shirt out in public, it's like, oh, I gotta quiz you about every single thing about the game.
Yeah. No, it's. I mean, it's something that we're obviously. It's an ongoing thing, trying to kind of come to grips with. Hey, girls play games too, and not just mobile games. Seriously, they play these games. They enjoy them. And you kind of have to accept that.
Yeah, it's kind of like every time when I wear like a Twitch shirt out in public, people are like, "What's a snarfy bobo?"
Mm.
They just don't understand like what Twitch is and that people have online names and stuff. And
well, that's a big distinction too. The idea that what's the word I'm looking for? With Twitch as well, it's a general lack of understanding that people watch other people play video games on the internet, and people like doing that. Because they're like, I'd rather just play the game, and you'll get some laughter there too.
Yeah, it's a very strange world we live in right now.
Mm-hmm. But it just takes the old generation dying. Then we'll be all right.
I mean, my dad is in his 50s and he watches Twitch. He just had me help him install Finger C. So that was a thing.
Oh, wow.
That is a jump. That is a step forward, because not only does that mean he's watching Twitch, but he's engaged.
He is engaging, yeah.
The emotes that he currently has access to via Twitch is insufficient, and therefore he requires more emotes.
Exactly.
That is someone who is very much engaged with such a thing.
Plus, he really wanted Dark Twitch because he saw me with it.
Oh, Dark Twitch is the best. Whenever I log into Twitch via my work PC, which admittedly I shouldn't be doing as often as I do, I'm on light Twitch because I don't dare install new Chrome extensions on my work PC, and no, it's hard to look at on the other side. It's kind of unfortunate.
It's too bright.
But so I dragged us off course quite a bit here, but I thought it was decent segues.
We still have some pretty good time.
Oh, we got plenty of time. We blazed. We started. I mean, we didn't even introduce very much. We didn't say what we were doing this week. We didn't really laze in. We went straight in the first topic, in the first 10 seconds of this. So I think we're gonna be all right.
I'm not much of an introducer.
Fair enough.
Because that's not even a word.
Right in.
I am bad at introductions.
It's like donators. It's not a word.
Donators.
Donors. All right, so visual novels. Japan's trying to work on getting more women involved, but also try Japan to market things that are more gender neutral too, to all people and females. They can play the Final Fantasies. They can play the other games. It's amazing, but true. Oh well. What's this about Microsoft games?
For some reason, there's I don't want to say for some reason, it's obviously for business, but Microsoft has games. What?
What?
I never knew that.
What games does Microsoft have in what context? I don't really remember reading this one.
They have a lot of games.
It seems like a list. I'm not quite sure if this is news or just like, hey, they have games.
I think it's like what games
Gamescom.
were released or were revealed. That's the word I'm looking for. So what games has Microsoft revealed this year?
Quite a few, as it turns out.
A lot. There's Halo, Gears of War, Quantum Break, Forza. They have Minecraft listed on here because you have to put Minecraft on everything now. And then Rise of the Tomb Raider and the Master Chief Collection. There's a lot of games on here.
I forgot, in Rare's new game, Steve Thieves. Yeah, no,
Oh,
there,
yeah.
there are a ton of things. I guess the subtext here is that people were upset that the the newer consoles kind of were hurt. Maybe hurting is the wrong word. They were
You're kind of cutting out here, Shadow.
slightly devoid of new releases this year. A little upset about that fact. What's up?
You were kind of cutting out there for a second.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, am I all right now?
Yeah, you're all right.
Yeah.
Now.
But yeah, I guess the subtext here is that it turns out that Microsoft is actually ramping up their game to try getting more games out there.
This is my game.
Look how many games I got in my game. Stepping up them games. Yeah, no, I mean, you guys, or Caitlin posted the link in chat, and you know what we need to do for the podcast? Because I love the idea. Is a lot of other podcasts, they put up like a link dump, if you will. I think that's what the term that Rooster Teeth coined for it. Where when we talk about things, a list of links that we use during that particular show are released alongside it. Do we do that?
We do.
Oh, okay. Then
It's
that's already
below the
something that people
podcast.
know, and I've completely and totally forgotten.
Well,
Hey,
if you go to our website, you can.
It's true. It's true. This is a quick PSA. Is it RNGshow.com?
Yes, you can click the link below the stream right now.
It's true. It's right there. Website. If you go to RNGshow.com, you can see our previous episodes of this show and all the links that we drop down on an average show basis. So it'll be fun.
You know what other website we should be talking about?
Oh.
YouTube.
I mean, it's an important website, but we're on Twitch right now.
No, I'm talking about how you can now install Homebrew for 3DS via YouTube.
Oh, I did hear about that. Yeah. It's kind of silly.
Yeah, it's a new, easier way to install your Homebrew app onto your 3DS. All you have to do is log into YouTube and the YouTube app on your 3DS and follow a few short steps. Now easier than ever to Homebrew.
Because as it turns out, the YouTube app, and I mean, obviously, I think this will get patched pretty quick, but for the time being, the YouTube app on your 3DS apparently opens up just a few too many back doors that make life a little too easy to break in with your own homebrew. Either that, or Nintendo just turned a blind eye. It's like, yeah, okay, we'll give you this, homebrew developers. Just don't ask for anything else. I guess that's a fair point from Mushbun. Do we want to homebrew our 3DSs? Like, what would be the advantage of that? Do we break through region locking? Is that? I think that's
Yes,
one big thing.
you do,
You
yeah.
can get Portal for your 3DS as well.
You get Portal
For free.
So there are people homebrewing ports of games and probably their own games to play on the 3DS.
Yes.
Yeah. Aha. Well, that's interesting. And of course,
Because
you
I
know, I
really
suppose
want
you
to play Portal on
you could
my
have, like-
3DS.
Yeah. I suppose you could have like you could have one card that has like a lot of games on it or something. For those unaware, Thanatos asked. God, are you just bouncing around, TB?
Yeah.
I could definitely. It was like it sounded like you were.
You're a robot now, Shadow.
Down in your chair in excitement.
Oh.
Has its native operating system or what?
Shadow? Are you okay?
Microsoft has their own thing on the Xbox.
What happened? Hello?
Are we in trouble? Oh boy.
The recording stopped and you cut out a lot and
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
I think Abra's mumble might die in here. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
No.
Huh. Is the recording still going?
No.
Not the mumble recording. Check out this aerial goal.
I'll
Oh, now I'm
restart.
losing you. Maybe it's time to go over to Geo.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, that might be smart.
Yeah. Well, why don't we do that real quick? Is that all right?
Yeah.
That's fine. Setting this up. Alright.
There
Hello.
we go.
Hello, hello.
All right.
You want to start recording now?
Yeah, if you would, Caitlin. Okay. So,
Caitlin? Okay.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear us now better?
Yeah,
think
we're
you guys
back.
know better.
We back. Don't worry.
Anyway, homebrews. The idea that, you know, like all your game consoles and your PC all run, really anything with a screen that you do more than just like a simple function on, has an operating system that runs to make sure that other things can run on it. The homebrew developer, they create their own custom version of an operating system that allows you to do whatever the hell you want. Like, you can, if you want to use, like, SD cards to run 30 games off of one card, do it. It's fine. You can totally do it. Or if you want it, like I said, or like they said, change the region, the quote-unquote region on your 3DS, so you're not region locked out of certain games, you can do that as well.
So just do it.
None of it's legal, but necessarily, but it is possible.
That's the important thing.
Though that's been something that homebrew developers have been fighting for ages, because they argue that the hardware that you own should be your own hardware, and therefore you should be able to do whatever you want with it. That's being still held up in courts and stuff, really. I think most of the time homebrew developers lose on that, but whatever, because it's used for piracy too much.
Yeah.
But that's beside the point. That's just yeah. No, if you want to if you're in a situation where it's like, I want to play this 3DS game, but I'm in the wrong region to play it, then you should look into this, please.
Yeah, I mean, you can perfectly legally buy games that aren't in the US and then just play them on a system that usually wouldn't play them. I mean, you still own the game, but it's still just a little bit illegal.
Just a tiny bit, like just enough that it makes it a problem.
Yeah.
Not too much more than that, though, of course. Sorry, I'm typing a message to somebody else real quick. Do we want to lead in the next topic in the meantime?
Yeah, sure. So, a new trailer, I don't want to say new trailer, actually, because it's an old trailer made new for Gears of War was released. It was for the re-release of Gears of War 1. The trailer is the exact same as the original trailer, except all updated for the new gen. And it looks fabulous.
It does. Plus, I just really like the song that they used.
Yeah. I remember when I watched that trailer for the first time back in, like, I don't even know how long ago that was, like 2007 or something.
Yeah.
I was really excited for that game. And I'm really excited for the re-release. I really want to get an Xbox One because of the new game. That's one series that I've always been a fan of for Xbox.
Like admiring from afar, or something that you've played?
Something that I've played.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's something for me, it's something that I've always admired from afar, because I was always Team Sony. Once I got after the N64, it was PS2, PS3, PS4, so I never really got onto the other side of that. And but at the same time, it looked nice. I mean, I was a fan of the idea. It looked the art style was kind of unique. Everyone's a little. They're human, but like not quite human. They're almost like stout people. It looks cool. It looks like pretty fun.
It's actually the first game I've ever beaten on the hardest difficulty.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And then, like, as soon as after that, like, games with a single-player campaign, as soon as I beat that game on the hardest difficulty, I just stopped on the hardest difficulty. Like, Halo Reach came out, and I'm just like, hardest difficulty, first try.
Jeez. But, like, I also have to give them props for using Mad World in their latest trailers, because I like that song a lot.
That's because that was in the original trailer.
It's true, and I liked it back then, and I like it now.
Yep.
That's, I think that's what first got me on it. It was like, oh, yeah, I know this song. Oh, they're chainsawing people to death.
Yep.
I mean, that's the perfect song to chainsaw
it really
people
is.
with.
Find it kind of... Find it kind of sad. But yeah, no. It's a good juxtaposition, as they say. The kind of the quiet classical music to intense and over the top violence and ridiculousness that's going on in the background.
Yeah, it's very contrasting, but very deep and moving at the same time.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the other thing is, despite the fact that the series is super violent, they don't really go with they don't go very campy about it. I guess they do mean to be genuine and heartfelt about it, which I very much appreciate.
And it's got a very moving story. Shadow, you'd like it. It's got a lot of character development.
Yeah, no, I really think I would if I ever had a console or device that would allow me to play it, which I will because it's coming to PC, right?
I don't know. It might be.
I think I could be wrong on that. Maybe it's just me wishful thinking as usual, but I would love to see it come to PC.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because then I'd totally play it. But I'm not feeling the need to go run out and get an Xbox One to toss on the PS4 that I already don't play to just to play the Gears of War series.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Oh, you know what you can play?
On the PS4.
Uncharted.
Well, I
For
can play the
PS4.
trailer on there at least.
Oh, sure.
Well, I mean, it's coming out relatively soon. All
It's
three of
true.
the original games. Drake's Tale is what they're calling that bundle.
Yes.
Like the Uncharted collection, right?
Yeah. It's got all three of the games, the first games.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually one series that I have admired from afar but never played.
You know, I own one, and I've never played any of them. I have the
Oh.
opportunity, and I know it's like one of gaming's most well-regarded series in like forever,
Yeah.
and yet I've never touched it. I've gotten the first couple hours into the original, and I was like, yeah, okay, I don't know about this. I heard it really picks up in the second one.
Yeah,
I-
that's
I
what
never
I've
got
heard too.
attached. But yeah, no, it's coming up soon between Uncharted 4 and this collection coming in now.
And with the collection, if you beat the game with brutal difficulty, then you can get crushing difficulty.
Crushing difficulty. That sounds like something I'd like to do.
Which was it like a never before released difficulty added for specifically for the collection, or is it just
Yes.
like, oh dear?
Yes.
I have a friend. I think sophomore year of college, he went through and beat Uncharted 2 15 times.
Oh wow.
Like over the
Wow.
course of a couple of weeks. He was just straight up addicted to that game, and so I'm sure he's excited to hear that they're going to be releasing a higher difficulty version of that. No, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see how it goes. I was actually looking in chat real quick to see if he was here. Sometimes he pops up in my streams, but I'm not sure if he necessarily knows about RNG Show. Still,
Yeah.
no, it should be fun.
I'm a big fan of like making games very hard. Just because I feel more accomplished at the end. Like that's why I'm such a huge fan of like Dark Souls and Bloodborne, because they're just like From Software games are just brutal, and I love it.
I like the concept, but I am a terrible gamer, and so it is tough for me to accept. For me, I hear that news and I was like, yeah, okay, that's cool for people who are not me, because I will never play it. I will continue to play on my normal stick in the mud difficulty and go from there.
Yeah.
It was like I started playing Persona Q this weekend, for example, and I usually actually the other Persona games I'll play on hard because I'm okay at like turn-based and games where it doesn't involve like twitch-based action where you can kind of think your way through the moves. But I still went normal on this one because I think you've played it, right, TV?
Yeah.
It's a little bit harder than the other games, I think. Just a little, or at least it's different for sure.
Yeah. Etrian Odyssey with a Persona twist.
Yep. I'm enjoying it so far, though.
Yeah. that's
But
pretty...
again, off topic.
Yeah.
So Uncharted, I'm sure people are already. This is just an addition to the excitement that you've already been building for it. If you're excited for this, but yeah. Well, we at least can hope that it doesn't get delayed, unlike yet another game that's getting delayed.
Oh man.
Caitlin,
Rainbow Six, huh?
Rainbow
bad.
Six Siege.
Delayed to December 1st.
I meant to actually look in and see how many times this game's been delayed now.
I think this is
Been a
the
few.
I think it's the third or fourth time right now.
That
And-
doesn't look so great.
I'm not upset necessarily about the whole idea that, like, you know, they've the game is like not done and they're scrambling to try getting it done. More to the fact that it obviously was not done, and yet they really tried hard to see if they could stuff it in way too early.
Yeah. I've barely played any of the Rainbow Six games, but they're pretty fun for what I've played of them, and they've got quite a big fan base that's probably pretty disappointed in this. So I can see where that's coming from, why people are upset.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a few Rainbow Six games in like a few Rainbow Six pokers in the oven or the furnace, but I haven't seen any of them getting close to being released. Because what's that other? It's another Ubisoft game. It's another Tom Clancy game. They're like trapped in a New York City that's been kind of blown apart. What is that game? I have to look it up. Hold on. But the issue again is that Ubisoft seems to have a lot of games here that are kind of just spinning their wheels for a bit, which is pretty unfortunate.
The only really like Tom Clancy Rainbow Six game that I've ever played was Rainbow Six Vegas 2, which is completely different from any of the other games because it's a real-time strategy, like command your units kind of thing.
Would you expand upon that, Hobbs, at all? By the way, because it's definitely not a traditional Rainbow Six game, but it seems kind of more multiplayer oriented. Like all I ever see is the siege mode, which is you pit a set of players against another set of players, where one is kind of taking control of, or it's kind of like terrorists versus counter-terrorists, and the terrorists have taken over a certain place, whether it be like an embassy or some suburban house or some bank or something, and the counter-terrorists are trying to get in, trying to break or siege the building, if you will, to try taking out the people inside. And it looks cool so far, but I don't know what's delaying. Have they said anything as to why it's getting delayed?
Not this time that I saw.
I haven't seen really anything else. I'll read the blog real quick again just to double check, but I didn't see.
It seems, at least to me, by the description of that, it seems kind of similar to like Payday, except you can play as the other team as well.
Yeah.
And instead of like robbing, you're terrorizing.
The literal, because this is straight from the Ubi blog, so it's they've got they would know if they're having trouble with it. They're saying that due to the player feedback that they've received at live hands-on demos at events like E3 and Gamescom, is that it's not ready, which means that's kind of an issue if it's not there yet. I'm a little I don't know. We'll see how it goes, I guess. Oh, as in how they expect people to strategize, Hobbs? Like, so are you saying that people aren't going to be able to get together well enough to build their own squads to strategize their break-ins or their defenses against each other?
I mean, I definitely I could see that, especially in like a matchmaking situation where random people are coming together. One person's going to be like, oh, I want to be the leader, and they're just going to, like, somebody's got to take a lead position, is what I'm assuming. Mm-hmm. And in, like, a random situation, nobody's going to want to do that.
No, it's true. It sounds like a game that's going to be a lot of fun if you can get a bunch of friends together and you can work together on it. But as a single-person matchmaking kind of scenario, I really can't see this working out all that well. But yeah, no, maybe like you said, Hobbs, maybe if there's like this ranked mode where you can have your own group and you come together and you fight through. Maybe that's because I kind of see this going into sort of an esports kind of direction. The idea is that teams get built up to be the best at this particular game. That it won't necessarily work as on the individual level, but if they can blow it up to an idea that like if you can get a whole team together, it's kind of almost a MOBA setup in that sense. When you're playing it as individuals, everybody has to really know their assignments, otherwise the whole thing falls apart and people get upset at each other. I'm wondering if that's kind of the direction that game is going to have to go into in order for them to succeed. Just a thought.
Well, something that doesn't require multiplayer. The Windows 10 Xbox app was updated.
Hey.
Oh, this is what I was talking about earlier.
Yep.
So now you can stream 1080p 60 FPS on your Xbox One.
Oh baby. That's fantastic.
This is what I was talking about. They're talking about like streaming games, like
okay.
like you can get games
Yeah.
off the internet and play them without downloading them on a stream basis in full HD, but you have to have really good internet. I was watching the video that should be linked sometime. The video was talking about how it had like old games up there, like the original Gears of War. They were streaming it, and it's like it should work pretty well if you have like if your internet works with this network capability, which not a lot of people have. But
Right.
I mean, now that they've updated it to be that high of quality, they have matched the game with PS4 and their PS Now, and I have used that PS Now a little bit, so now that Xbox is kind of joining that game, it kind of levels out the playing field.
Yeah, no. And once again, to make sure people understand, it's if you own an Xbox One, you can take the games that you have installed on your Xbox One and stream them to your Windows 10 PC. And it supposedly, from what I've heard, I have a few friends who do have Xbox Ones that they've tried it. It works. It kind of works. It kind of really works pretty well. Maybe not for, if you're playing your FPSs and you're really trying to, be as...
MLG.
Yeah, MLG as possible, in which case, well, why are you playing it on your PC anyway? Just go play it on a console. But for anything else, especially more kind of story-based games or like... or action-adventure stuff, it apparently has been working out just fine. Like the latency issue, which is the biggest issue for, streaming one game from one device to another, appears to be noticeable, but not, inescapable, I guess. Or insurmountable, I guess is the right word I was looking for. Which is good. It's good. It means that we can eventually come to a place where, we may not even have games stored locally on our own devices, which might be a scary world. But it's a possibility.
Scary possibility.
Indeed,
I don't know how we feel
we're
about
running
that.
we're running into these scary possibilities again. Cool but scary.
Well, you know what's cool but not scary?
What?
Pokken Tournament is going to come to Wii U in spring 2016.
Yeah.
I am really excited. That game looks so amazing.
I am really confused by it.
Why is that?
It's just I don't know. It seems almost a little too real, I guess. I mean, it's been kind of going on with Smash, so I guess it's not that hard to comprehend. But like to me, the idea that like in Smash they're throwing each other off the field, I guess. But like with regular Pokemon games, they never show Pokemon literally fighting each other. It's always just like throwing some sort of attack at them and then them getting hit by it. This is going to be actually people that like various Pokemon punching and kicking each other, and then like one will eventually fall.
That sounds pretty scary, actually.
When you think about it, right? It's just it's a step they really haven't taken before in big Pokemon games. Certainly, like I said, you could set that up with Smash and do it pretty well too. But Smash has a certain campiness to it that I think kind of defeats that. With Pokken, it gets a little real. Just a teensy bit real.
It's just, the way I see it, it's just another fighting game, just with different characters, which happen to be Pokemon, and
it's true.
It looks
it's
really
totally
awesome.
True. No, I'm not saying. I'm saying, or I think it'll do well, and I think it'll be a fun game. It's a connection that I think people haven't necessarily made.
Yeah.
They're instructing enslaved creatures to pretty much beat each other up until they pass out.
It might work out good, and if it does, we might do it more in the future.
But they're willing is the main point.
They're willing.
That's what
They're not enslaved.
What's that, Pikachu? The same word that you keep saying over and over again? Oh, that probably means you're okay with this. Go electrocute that water type. It'll be great. Do it or you won't get food.
Oh.
Pikachu. But yeah, no.
Speaking of food,
Not to be a downer.
I don't know where I was going with this segue. Something about squid. Squid is food. Splatoon.
Splatoon.
There is a big tournament coming up in Japan.
And apparently $1 million worth in prize money.
Whoa.
But I don't
really-
know if
I didn't
that's
hear about that.
yen or...
That's what I meant by big.
1 million yen or $1 million? Because those are two
See-
very different values.
See, this is the real question because it didn't really specify. So then it would be $100,000. So that's still
Roughly.
pretty good.
I mean, that's still a lot, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not $1 million.
Yeah.
I think it's $1 million.
I think so.
That's pretty great, yeah. But
And
like,
that's a lot of money.
I mean, I'm glad to hear that. Nintendo has fully embraced this whole Splatoon business.
Esports.
Obviously they have because they're continuing to support the game right now, but the fact, yeah, I mean, this is their kind of real first venture into esports that isn't Smash, and even then, with that, they kind of had to go into that kicking and screaming. I mean, when people wanted to, do Melee instead of Smash 4 in certain tournaments, they're like, nah, we ain't hearing that. But like now they're fully embracing it, and it looks like it's going to go really well. So we'll see where it goes. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where Splatoon can go from here. Nintendo had a big gamble on their hands, and it seems like it is paying off. Because it is stupid fun. Do you have a Wii U TV? I can't remember.
I do.
Okay.
I recently sold Splatoon though.
Oh, really?
Just because I hadn't played it much. I plan on rebuying it eventually. I just wanted different games at the time, and I was gonna wait for the price to go down. So
Fair enough. Yes, Splatoon esports. That's an interesting thing to think about, huh? Like, there will be professional Splatoon players eventually, perhaps.
That sounds kind of amazing.
Yeah, a little bit. There's professional Splatoon players, professional Rocket League players.
That's gonna be
even
me.
better.
Rocket
gonna
League
be
is-
me.
Yep.
I'm
Rocket
pro.
League is- they're already in the Electronic Sports League. They've already got tournaments building up for it.
I cannot wait to watch those.
Because Splatoon, do they have a spectator mode yet? I don't know. I can't remember if they do or not. But if they don't, they should, because that would be fantastic, I think.
yeah, that would be pretty cool.
You know
You know-
something else that could
What?
be cool, but is kind of scary, like we mentioned earlier?
Right?
Nintendo is going to... It filed a patent for a new home game console that doesn't require discs.
The NX, yeah?
We don't know if that's what it's for yet. They just filed a patent for it. There is a rough blueprint, very caveman-esque
Sure.
in terms of blueprints, that just shows a home console with no disc port.
It
Maybe they're
could-
going back to cartridges.
Maybe.
They could be. Or like a SD card or something.
Maybe
or,
you can play
uh,
your 3DS games with it.
And of course, there's the ever real thought, and I mean, the whole gaming industry is kind of moving to this one way or another, that eventually, hardware based, or, games with physical media may not necessarily be a thing in the future. Like,
Yep.
that is a very real possibility that is coming up very quickly.
And Nintendo is taking the very first step towards that, it appears.
Which is a kind of an interesting idea, because they were also Nintendo's also kind of the biggest storehouse, maybe,
Yeah.
of people who love physical media. I mean, the fact that
Yeah.
the Amiibo have taken off so ridiculously well, rabidly well, seems to kind of counteract the thought of going full digital for them. So we'll kind of see where that goes. I'm wondering if maybe they're just moving away from optics, because technically optical discs are becoming suddenly less efficient than flash media. What with SD cards and just solid state and all that, it is actually a lot easier to put stuff on that than an optical disc.
And
Yeah.
it in the blueprint there actually is a solid state drive.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if perhaps they just suddenly decided, especially since, because technically this will be the first console of the next generation. I keep thinking PS4 that and Xbox One are part of the next gen, but they're current gen alongside Wii U.
Yeah.
They wouldn't necessarily want you to believe that necessarily, that the Wii U is on the same level as other things such as the PS4 and Xbox One, but it's still technically there. And so I don't know. We'll see where it goes.
Maybe they'll stick with the normal physical copies for their mobile type of things, so like for 3DS and stuff, but maybe they'll start going more digital with their home consoles, which makes sense because it'll be a lot easier for a family to just download a game and go and get one and store it.
With these new blueprints, because I haven't actually taken a look yet, did they kind of specify this would be like an in-home console as opposed to a no portable device?
Yes, I believe that's what they said. I mean, it has a port for an external hard drive, and it has like a lot of like the inner workings. Like it's got 2 memory units, and it's got like a lot of the inner workings that you'd see from like a home console. And I think it was just generalized that by the article that it was a home console.
Right. No. Yeah. For sure. No, and I'm actually looking at it. Yeah. No.
Yeah. It's definitely a home console.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of makes me nervous because it sort of means that they're definitely taking their eyes off the Wii U and moving forward.
Yeah.
I mean, people kind of had a similar feeling to that with back during E3, and this kind of continues that trend. Of course, we'll feel differently about this once the Zelda Wii U comes out. Presumably, it stays on the Wii U and just the Wii U, but we'll see where that goes. What do you guys think, Chad? Would you be upset if Nintendo moved entirely away from physical media and just went straight digital? Something tells me yes, but I'm curious regardless. So what's this about Comiket? What is Comiket?
Comiket is a biannual event in Tokyo where a bunch of independent doujin artists, like independent manga writers and stuff, that quite aren't on the big stage, they all get together and present like their doujins, or what they're called, just like short mangas. Sure. And so they present all these, and they, on a large scale, like 550,000 people I think were there, and like over 1,000 independent writers were all displaying their stuff. It's just a place to get your name out, and it's a big event twice a year in Japan, summer and winter.
And it's coming up when?
I think it was last week, actually.
Oh, it actually did occur in the past. Gotcha.
Yeah, and the article did the turnout, and it said like 550,000 people were there.
Jeez, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, was that pretty good compared to, say, the one 6 months prior?
It was pretty much exactly the same.
Okay, so the people are still very much invested in these Comic-Cons.
Yeah.
It's good.
I always like stuff like that because I'm a writer, so
yeah.
Whenever indie writers get to actually put their stuff out there, it's awesome.
Yeah, and you know, when things kind of face mainstream release, you don't really get that writer's perspective on it. So I guess with Comic-Con, you get that extra advantage of these writers being alongside their work and be able to kind of show it off. They show off their baby, you know? They get to actually be a part of the process as it gets released to the masses.
Yeah, and it's the 88th installment of this event, so, I mean, it's been around for quite a while.
Oh, yeah.
Saying like twice a year, that's like 44 years, so...
Mm-hmm. No, it goes to show how long this particular genre has been around.
Yeah, it's been a big event in the lives of people, and it just keeps getting bigger.
Mm-hmm. It's very cool.
Well, speaking of manga, Kyoto Animation's novel Myriad Colors Phantom World is getting an anime.
Very nice.
Which I haven't read that one, but I read like the synopsis of it, and it sounds really cool.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Admittedly, I'm not much of a manga guy. I haven't really gotten into it, but always been looking to kind of jump in at some point. Let's see. Yeah, no, I'm reading it right now. So, story takes place in the near future in a world born of human imagination. Wow.
Yeah.
What that's a pretty good, strong start right there. What humans would call ghosts or monsters appear, and they come to be called phantoms. Wait, I'm playing a game like that.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Very
Hold
similar.
on a sec. Main character is a first year at academy with his upperclassmen.
Well,
Hold on.
I think this is Danganronpa, but with the blackened students returning as ghosts.
I was thinking that in Persona.
Yeah. You find a lot of these when there's just so much of this media out there, a lot of stuff overlaps, a lot of concepts, but it keeps me entertained no matter how many times I see it in different mediums, so
It's kind of like it's kind of like with Western media. It's always the hero's journey, the monument.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
like everything with like Harry Potter and the Hunger Games, they basically have the same thing where they start at one point and they always end back in the same point. It's basically the same thing.
Intimately familiar with the monomyth. I mean, one of my favorite games is that game company's Journey, which is literally the monomyth. The songs that were written for it are all the steps of the monomyth, which is pretty fun. If you haven't played it, you should play it. Just saying.
I should play it.
Absolutely.
It's a good game.
Wonderful game. But yeah, no. I'm sure those who are fans of this manga are ecstatic about the prospect of a new anime for it, or just not a new anime, an anime for it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This would be the first time that such an adaptation has occurred for this particular series. Well, I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in that type of media, a lot of the concepts, even though they're recycled from other stuff most of the time, the characters are usually very, very unique, as opposed from one to the other.
I can relate to that. I mean, I'm a big fan of Mass Effect. I love the characters, but I fully admit it's not exactly an original story.
Yeah.
Space. That's about it.
That's the story. That's it.
The story. Yeah, no, the story is isn't necessarily always as consequential as the characters inside the story and how they react to happenings within.
Yeah.
That's important.
Anyway, while we're on the topic of new seasons of anime, there was a new report out about how much one season of anime actually costs to make and produce and advertise and stuff.
For about 13 episodes, which is kind of a mini anime or a normal size, it's
Like
about
a short one season. Wasn't it 2 million yen?
2 million yen, yes.
Which is about like $20,000.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was $2 million. I don't remember.
But like if you think of animes like Angel Beats, stuff like that, that's 13-ish, or around that. But then there's the average of 24 episodes, which is $4 million.
Yeah, pretty much double in size, double in cost.
Which is that's terrifying because like there are, alongside stories like this, there are also stories of anime animators who are woefully underpaid and overworked, and it still costs this much to make just a short series like that.
Yeah, and the reason for that is the other statistic brought by this report is that most of the time they don't make their money back.
Yeah. They mentioned the fact that it's too high compared to revenue.
Yeah.
Because there's like all these huge animes that have been going on for years, like Naruto and Dragon Ball Z went on for a long time. I think.
Or like Bushman's saying, you gotta wonder because there are a lot of episodes of One Piece. Like how much money has been invested in making the entire One Piece anime so far.
But then imagine how much money they're getting back, because One Piece and Naruto and like Inuyasha, those were like the big animes for a long time, like stuff like Cowboy Bebop too. So they get like a lot of revenue back from it. But like the smaller ones, they don't really make as much because the bigger ones kind of bloat the market.
Which it makes you wonder because like I just don't know how they would increase their revenue stream to make sure that like this sort of thing works. I mean, they mentioned in the in like this article here that there just isn't enough. That you're never going to make any money back on like the physical media back. Like once the whole show's been done and over with, and they try to sell the DVDs, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That you're gonna be lucky to break even on that and just kind of potentially find a new audience, hopefully. But past that, like it seems that all your money is going to have to be made during the actual initial showing. In which case, how do you where do you expand upon that? I mean, you've got online services that are trying to kind of make simplify the process so that piracy goes down on it, but like what else can you do?
Yeah, you got to be in the right place at the right time. You got to get a good TV slot on a good channel for those local Japanese channels, and that's really hard with how much media is actually put out every day.
It's true. It's very true. I guess I'm not completely and intimately familiar with with how the average Japanese otaku consumes anime and the such, or anybody in Japan. But is it almost exclusively via live television, or will they watch, or do they try to consume it via digital over the
streaming?
Internet or what have you? Yeah, streaming.
Streaming is really. I know streaming is really big over here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because it's pretty much the only way to watch it over here.
It's not like we're getting live broadcasts from Japanese television stations. That's what I'm curious about. Is it still very much a TV-based sort of thing where people are watching on their over wire?
Yeah, I don't know.
I know the younger, like the animes aimed towards the younger kids are normally broadcasted, kind of like with over here how we have cartoons, but I don't necessarily think that there's a lot. I know that game shows are really popular over there.
Yeah, that article mentioned something about it. Pretty much any series like that is a late night show, which not a lot of people are going to watch.
And so, according to Mushmon, most of them watch recorded TV, which I don't know. Just maybe that's an untapped market there. Maybe if they can kind of will people towards watching on demand online, where they can hopefully potentially acquire better advertisers that are willing to spend a little bit more to try to bump these things up. Because I'm sure a lot of great stories are getting undervalued, underappreciated, just because they're not getting enough exposure. They're not a worthwhile investment, and so people don't necessarily spend the money to make them. It's an unfortunate fact, but it's a definite possibility. Who knows? The moral of the story is spend more money on your animes. not people making the animes, but people watching the animes. Turn off your ad block.
Speaking of not necessarily anime, but animation, Disney has a new movie that they announced.
Gigantic. Which seems like a retelling of Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah, but with a different story, but the same concept and character, but the premise behind it is like there's like utter turmoil up in the clouds with the giants and stuff, and I don't know. I didn't read a whole lot on it, but it looks really good. And of course, out of Disney, they announced it was going to be a musical, so that I've always been a fan of like Disney musicals. So
sure. Now that I think about it, I guess I didn't realize it, but yeah, Disney hasn't done an actual adaptation of Jack and the Beanstalk.
No, they haven't.
Or if they have, it's certainly not popular. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, to have it looks like, I could be wrong on that. Is it supposed to be 3D animated or is it 2D?
I don't know. All we have on it right now is basically name, concept art, and premise. Sure. I think because they just recently announced it. So
yeah, I was gonna say I was looking at the concept art and I initially thought, oh, that's gonna be 2D animation. I was like, oh boy, it's gonna go back to the old style. But then I looked at it again. It's like, no, that's pretty Disney animated studio looking.
Yeah.
And it's all. Oh well, there you go. That's probably gonna be another thing. Is according to this line right here, that Disney Animation could be taking on the classic story of Jack and the Beanstalk and from Gigantic, a brand new musical from Tangled director Nathan Greeno. So that might indicate that it's going to be a 3D production, which is fine. It's perfectly fine. It's going to do great, probably.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it regardless. I've always been a fan of those movies, so.
I mean, obviously Disney's looking for their next Frozen if they can.
Frozen
eventually.
2?
Well, yeah, I mean that too. I imagine they're looking for another new IP that won't necessarily just result in millions of little girls dressed up in Elsa costumes flooding Disney World and Disneyland every day.
Yeah.
Well, little girls might be dressed up as something else when they go to Disney World and Disneyland now.
Yeah.
Because one that I really hope that people dress up as, there's going to be Incredibles 2.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, I am so excited.
That was one of my favorite movies.
Along with some other Disney Pixar films.
Yes.
Cars 3, Toy Story 4, and
Finding Dory.
Finding Dory, yeah.
So
that's another one I'm excited for.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm less excited about... I'm certainly... Okay, maybe in terms of ranking here, I'd say Incredibles 2 above and beyond. Second place, maybe Finding Dory. Then Toy Story 4.
And Cars
then
3.
Being hit by a car.
Yes.
And then Cars 3.
I'd rather get hit by a car than see that. Because, I don't know. The first Cars movie was okay.
Hey.
Oh, I love the original Cars, but then they just didn't need to keep going.
Hey, this one might be good. Who knows?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Probably not, but maybe.
I'm just wondering how far Toy Story is going to go. Because I still haven't seen Toy Story 3.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting to try and think about what Toy Story 4 is going to be about, because everything got pretty well closed off by Toy Story 3, and then they're just opening it up a little bit, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
They say that Woody and Lil Bo Peep are going to have a romance in this one.
Oh.
Wait, say again?
So, Woody and Bo Peep.
Woody and Bo Peep. Sorry, I heard an entirely different name for the first one. I was like, who and Bo Peep? But no, Woody. That makes sense. The first one they alluded to it, but they just kind of ignored it wholesale. They're like, yeah,
just so they can make this movie.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You definitely go see Toy Story 3, but I won't spoil it for you, but it set itself up pretty well that it was going to be this big conclusion of the Toy Story saga.
But then it made a lot of money.
Then it made a lot of money, yeah. Toy Story 3 special, or Toy Story the series is special to me because I was the same age as Andy through all three.
Oh,
yeah. Toy Story 3 occurred the same time that I was going off to college. And that's not really a spoiler. Andy's college age in Toy Story 3, and so it was definitely it was a story that grew up with me, and so I really hope that Disney's not trying to milk this a little too hard.
Yeah, I understand that.
How it goes. But Incredibles 2 needs
That's
to happen.
Definitely the one I'm excited the most for.
I'm very pumped for that, though. I'm wondering. The biggest thing that I loved about it, admittedly, was the soundtrack to it. I loved the kind of old-time, almost Cold War era, classic spy jazz setup that I'm wondering if they're going to go a little bit more modern with it or not. We'll see how it goes. Yeah,
I definitely like the James Bond kind of music feel, and it was quite good.
It was a lot of fun.
You know another film that has really good music? Star Wars.
Yeah, sure. John Williams. Good times.
He is an amazing composer.
And I think is he doing the Star Wars movies, or is he kind of on the way out?
I don't know.
Because he is not young.
Did he do Jurassic World?
I don't think he did.
I don't think so, no.
No, I think that's why I was wondering whether or not he was doing Star Wars. Let me see how old John Williams is at this point.
I mean, he's done everything, like Jaws, Harry Potter,
It's totally true.
Star Wars.
Indiana Jones.
He is currently 83 years old, so he's getting up there. No, apparently, let me take a look. According to Wikipedia, he did Jurassic World. Maybe he had just a part in it. I'm not sure if he was the lead composer on it. No, he was the composer.
Oh, okay. Anyway, we're not here to talk about composers. We're here to talk about directors.
I got caught in the segue.
the director for Star Wars Episode 9 has been confirmed.
Yes, Colin Trevorrow? I think he was the director of Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Which, man, I mean, that is a jump for that man. I mean, he went from, what was the Safety Not Guaranteed, which was an indie time-traveling film.
Such a good movie.
To straight, that was his only major release, straight to Jurassic World, and now, oh yeah, we'll just hand you Star Wars too. Okay, thanks, bye. Have fun.
Yeah.
That is a lot of pressure to put on one little director.
No, he has proven himself time and time again with Jurassic World now.
But there's just 2 movies, and Jurassic World was just kind of, people were okay with it. It made a shit ton of money. Sorry.
Yeah.
Mango, there's a swear you have to add it. You have to bleep out, but yeah, no. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. It's quite the setup.
I trust in him. He's gonna be working with the directors of the other 2 movies, 7 and 8, and those definitely come out before his turn on it. So he'll have time to get some Star Wars under his belt, and I have hopes for him.
Abrams is doing 7. Who's doing 8? Does any?
I don't know.
I have to look that up. Hold on. Because, yeah, it seems that they're switching directors for each movie, which is kind of crazy.
Which isn't something totally uncommon nowadays.
Well, that's a bad sign. The first thing that I got up when I looked up on Google, Star Wars 8 director fired.
Oh, wow.
Rian Johnson is apparently the person doing, currently doing Star Wars Episode 8. He has formerly done, let's take a look, Looper.
Okay.
I could see that. I enjoyed Looper.
Yeah, Looper was pretty good.
Oh, and he's a Breaking Bad director. Okay.
Oh,
okay. He's got a little bit of a pedigree there. That's fine. He'll be fine. No. Abrams. I don't know if Abrams was just too busy or if they just wanted one Abrams Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm always surprised that they have, you know, okay, I don't know. I was gonna say that it's kind of unprecedented to take like a series like this and have 3 different directors do them, but that's kind of a common thing nowadays that a lot of people are doing. I mean, a lot of Marvel movies are all done by different directors, but they still have kind of a same undertone to them. Yeah, and it works out somehow.
I mean, with Harry Potter, I think there were 3 directors throughout it.
The first 2 were done by Chris Columbus.
Yeah, and
then after that it was I can't remember after this,
Alfonso?
Yeah, I think Alfonso did it after that.
Shadow, this guy in my game is Watermelon Color. I thought he was you.
Yes. No.
But he's not a van. He's not a van, so it's
well, that's
not
the
you.
problem, because the only time I'm playing this game is when I'm Van. I have to be Van.
Nub.
Van is required. Yep, Van Nub for the win. What, are you guys excited for, or can you even think about Star Wars 9 this early in?
No, that's why I was why I was so surprised when I saw that article, like Star Wars Episode 9 director. I'm like, we haven't even got 7 yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I get, you know, it's kind of like Marvel again. I mean, they're all Disney, so I suppose this makes sense, but like Marvel has their movies figured out past 2020, so
yeah.
I guess Star Wars has to kind of really start thinking about that themselves too.
And Star Wars Episode 9 is right now scheduled for 2019, so
yeah, it's true. So they've got a little bit of time, but at the same time, you know, it takes time to make movies, so you really do have to think about these kind of things. How about you, Kaylin? Are you excited for Episode 9?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't really... I've watched the original trilogy, but I haven't really gone past that with Star Wars.
You get the gist.
Yeah. So, I mean, I might watch it, but I don't know.
I'd get through the first 6 just to say you've done it, and then go from there. I don't know if Hipster, I don't know if you're out there. He's my movie watching buddy. I don't know if we've decided whether or not we're going to be coming together and going out and seeing 7 on the release day or something. But it might be just an experience more than anything else.
Yeah. I hope they all do well. I'm a fan of the series, and it's gonna be awesome in my opinion. Even even if the movies aren't good, I will probably still like them just because of the premise behind it, you know?
Yeah.
Just the legacy and just that feel.
Well, there's actually going to be a new anthology series of films for Star Wars.
Yeah, like a sub-series of Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars Rogue One. And it basically seems like, I think it was described as United Fighters to steal plans from the Death Star, so it'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and that movie has a release date for next year, actually.
And that'll be like the first official canon quote, or it's still canon, but it's not
non-main
the
series. Yeah,
the first run
Star Wars film, unless you count like the Clone Wars. I don't even know if they're canon though. I
don't think they're canon.
The animated ones.
I think they mentioned the fact that anything besides the movie trilogy and then the animated productions are anything outside of that is considered extended universe and therefore not canon. But I think the Clone Wars do fit in there, and their new show, like I think it's like Rogue or something like that.
And didn't they have an animated movie too?
Yeah, I think it was based off the Clone Wars like animated series, or either that or one spawned the other. I can't remember which, but something like that. Too much Star Wars, BBC. I mean, Star Wars, whether like it or not, it's huge. The whole thing is just ridiculous.
But there's only one more topic that you have to listen to of Star Wars.
It is true.
Star Wars is getting its own world land in the Disney parks.
Yay!
Which that's going to be really cool, like Star Wars themed rides and attractions and.
Mm-hmm.
You get to take control of the Millennium Falcon on one of the attractions. So
I need to read this up again because I'm a die-hard Disney World fan. Let's see. I was trying to figure out if it's legitimately just an entirely different park or if it's like an extension of what they had previously. Because they had a section for Star Wars previously. They don't really mention all that much in this article.
There's only 2 attractions with it that they mention.
Mm-hmm.
Which one you can see a battle, and then the other you can take control of the Millennium Falcon.
Sure. But case in point, real quick, I clicked on that blog right there. They had 2 hot links to their Disneyland and Disney World sites. I was gonna click on it to see if they had any expansions on it. First image, frozen. Straight up frozen. Yeah, no, I'm pumped to see what comes out of it because anytime that they can find an excuse to expand upon the parks, I'm always excited to see it because it's always brand new technology coming in. And it's always insane. They above anybody else when it comes to amusement parks, go above and beyond to make sure that the technology going into it is pretty crazy.
Well, then you're going to be really excited in a second.
Because they're also going to have a Toy Story Land.
See,
right?
that I would be really excited.
I think the Star Wars one was going to both Disneyland and Disney World as opposed to where the Toy Story I think is just going to land, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, so I see how this might work out. So currently, Disney World. It has Disney World itself is actually composed of about 5 parks, I think.
Yeah.
There's Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood so 4 parks plus a bunch of extra little subsidiary things. If they create a 5th park dedicated to Star Wars, which I could see them doing, I guess, there's a lot of Star Wars space they have in their Hollywood studios, which they could then convert into Toy Story Land, which I think is what they're planning on doing.
Okay.
Which is an interesting thought. Wow, that is quite the expansion. I have to think then, they're probably going to tear down a lot of the Star Wars stuff.
It would make sense since Star Wars is pretty huge.
Mm. I was reading the comments on the Toy Story article. It looks like they haven't announced anything as to where this stuff's going to be.
No, they've just announced that there's going to be a Slinky roller coaster.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be alien saucers.
Yes.
Where you have to avoid the claw machine.
Oh, that is awesome. I'm excited for that.
That sounds really amazing.
Mm-hmm. This final half hour of the RNG show brought to you by Disney,
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
where dreams come to life. But yeah, no, I'm very ecstatic to these expansions because I haven't been to Disney World in like 3 years maybe, and I guess if I wait another 2 or 3 years from now, I'll finally be able to see all this new stuff. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting to see where all this goes. Hey, you know what? We are working just about perfectly into this 2-hour space, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Because we just hit the bottom of the stack.
You know what else goes? That's a terrible.
What else goes?
I don't know. I said it was terrible.
Okay. All right.
We're going into new games coming out
true.
this week.
Hey, this is not the release schedule I was looking for. There
Until
it is,
Dawn.
I found it.
Until
I was
Dawn.
gonna say, you're
Until Dawn.
always excited about one of them. Without a doubt.
I'm so excited for Until Dawn.
I know you are.
I'm getting it
Those are-
Tuesday.
Those unaware, Until Dawn is a PS4 game. It kind of looks like it's set up the same way as a lot of Quantum... Is it Quantic Dream or is it Quantum Dream? I can't never remember them.
I don't know. It's like a little baby brother to like Heavy Rain, except it's like more of like a slasher film kind of setting. But it'll have a lot of like the mechanics of Heavy Rain that with your decisions make a big impact. Like you can go through the entire game, like just going through it and not get any clues on like who the killer is, but everybody could still possibly survive, and you just never find the killer.
And who's going to be... someone's going to be streaming that game, I believe.
I am.
Could be wrong, yeah?
I will be streaming that game Tuesday.
Starting Tuesday, yeah, because it's being released Tuesday.
Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central.
Mm-hmm.
TV for good.
TV for good. Twitch.tv/TV for good. There you go.
So-
what other games are being released, Caitlin?
Gears of War.
Oh, yeah.
If you like Madden, you can play Madden NFL.
Madden
16.
2016.
You can play...
My
speaking
roommate's
of
been
anime-
talking a lot about Madden.
Yeah.
He works at a GameStop, and they have like an interactive display where you just play Madden all day, and when he's slow, him and his coworkers will just play Madden. And
Sure.
One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 is gonna come out.
Saw
if you like
that.
the other two. There's Gears of War Ultimate Edition coming out. Back to Bed, Ascendant, Dishonored Definitive Edition.
Yeah, that might be nice.
One that looks kind of cool is Calvino Noir.
Do we know anything about that?
No, but I see the picture of it, and it looks pretty cool.
It is literally a stealth adventure game inspired by film noir. That's the line for this.
Well, and then there's Runebow.
Mm-hmm.
there's also VVVs coming out for PS4 and PlayStation Vita.
Mm-hmm.
The Steins Gate visual novels coming out for PS3, PS Vita.
True. People are a big fan of Steins Gate.
Yeah.
And I Am Bread is coming out for PS4.
Oh, man. But I was going to say, going back with Madden, have you guys seen the new advertisement for Madden 16?
No, I haven't
I'm
actually.
talking like the full thing. Even if you don't even remotely like American football or Madden, go watch it. Did you guys see last year's promo?
No.
I believe I did, yeah.
I might have.
It involved like Dave Franco getting slapped.
Oh
in the
yes, I did
face
see
and
that. I did.
Epic Mealtime shouting that his house is on
Yeah.
fire. He's like, nah,
Yeah.
I don't care.
That was
a bunch
really
of
good.
It's
Let it
weirder.
burn. Let it burn.
This one coming up is weirder, like significantly weirder.
Oh,
Then
I
I
better
need to
watch it then.
It has a quarterback dressing up as it's supposed to be a whole action or like just over the top action thing again with Dave Franco. McLovin is one of the characters and he has a mullet.
Oh, that
baby.
sounds amazing.
Colin Capane, I can never pronounce his name. He's a quarterback in the NFL. He dresses up as Al Pacino specifically from Scent of a Woman,
Oh my god.
and he just keeps shouting Al Pacino lines.
That sounds amazing. I need to watch this
The whole
now.
and then somebody gets eaten by a T-Rex, and it's just like I don't know what's going on. Gronk's shooting like football bazookas at people. It makes no sense. Yeah,
Yes.
the new Madden commercials are the new Old Spice commercials. That's what's happening right now. Madden like takes place for about 30 seconds of the entire movie. I would say movie because like the whole thing's like 3-4 minutes long.
Oh my goodness.
And then there's some Madden on occasion. Go watch it if you guys haven't seen it. I command you to go watch it. Here, I'll go find it. In fact, because people are asking about it in chat. I'm working on it. Okay, here we go. Watch this thing after we're done with the RNG show, because we're almost done here. But I command you all to watch and let us know about on Twitter at RNG Show, and of course at me, Shadow Temple, because I love this thing so much. It's so stupid. They have Bollywood scenes where they have like a bunch of people dressed up in colorful costumes and they're dancing, and then they go back to a warehouse and they fight each other.
That sounds
get
like
it.
the plot to a pretty good movie too.
Yeah, I want them to make that movie. I don't even care about Madden. Just make the movie.
I'm sure it would be better than Pixels.
Yeah, probably. In fact, it will definitely be better than Pixels. Anything's better than Pixels.
Even the Green Lantern movie?
Even Sharknado.
I still love. Have you guys seen the Deadpool trailer?
Yes.
Oh yes, it's
The
very
fact
good.
that they allude specifically to the idea. Please don't. No Green Lantern.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's actually going to be a Green Lantern movie in
Yeah, there
2020.
is. But it won't be featuring Ryan Reynolds as the Green Lantern. Is that the name of the actor or is that the name of the character?
That's the name of the actor.
Actor.
Okay,
The character is Hal Jordan.
That's right. And that was the whole thing, is that Ryan Reynolds played both Deadpool and Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Was like, no, don't do it again. Please. Whatever you do. Yeah.
I like his comment about the topographical map. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Just continuously shaming Deadpool for his now deformed face.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's pretty much perfect timing because that's the end of this match too. So
I
we're
just
gonna wrap
watched the
things.
overtime score.
Yep. We're gonna wrap things up here, guys. Thank you all for watching this week, and as always, have a good one.
Adios.
Anything you guys want to say?
Be sure to drink your Ovaltine.
All right. Thanks, Mom.